You know what's
And
weird
I'm gonna
about
tell
me?
you, I
You know
do
what's
think
weird
that,
about?
go ahead, Lynch.
You know what's weird about me is my stress is backwards. Like I can let the past go easy, but I worry a lot about the future.
Same with me, bro. Same here. I think that's all of us is I think coming from the surroundings and the environment we all come from, I think we already kind of born war ready to a certain extent to where, man, you can't do nothing too bad for me. I've never sat back and worried about really losing money because I've came up and where I come from, dude, it's a miracle I'm even here today. I think about some of the stuff I have right now, the things I have achieved, and I'm like, thank you, God, bro. You know, this is unbelievable, me coming where I come from, right? But then the same token, I always wonder, man, like, you know what, man, we all went through those phases when we was younger where we spent absorbent amounts of money and we think like, damn, man, I wish I wouldn't have spent that money back then, man. I could have done this and I'd be
Oh,
had
definitely.
this right now to look forward to, you know? So you do have that. And I think especially getting older because us as black men too, I'm gonna tell you the number one thing we go through, the number one thing that's running rampant through our communities right now is ageism. Because you would have a motherfucker that look older than you because he on pills and drinking every day, calling you OG and you old, and you could be 30 years old.
That's real talk.
If you were 29, 30 years old, you are considered OG. I was getting called OG when I was 30. How about y'all? Like, did y'all have kids, younger dudes calling y'all OG when y'all was 30?
That's just the younger generation, though. Today, I think the
Yeah.
younger generation. It used to be different for us. It used to be like shit. It used to be like at 21 for us back then. At 21, you still a pup. You were still a kid. Shit, at 25, you didn't know shit still. You get me?
Yeah.
It seems like this generation is flipped. Nigga, you an old nigga about time you hit 30. That's how the young generation is today. The age limit is between 15 to motherfucking 25. After you turn 25, you start going downhill.
Yeah, you old.
But nobody in when I was fucking 25, 30, I wasn't getting called OG.
Me either.
Because the niggas that I grew up were still around. The generation now, they was babies, so they couldn't call me no OG. So we still had that, but now you get me. Now if you 30 and a kid is 15 to 17, 18, 20, you are OG. Nigga, you 30.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the standard, because to me, when I was 25 or 30, I used to look at kind of like if a cat was 55 or 60, I should look at that as old, right? But I didn't look at them as just like, oh, they out the game now, they out the loop, right? Now it's like, man,
when we nigga, when we was about what? When we was 19, 20, old to us was a motherfucker with fucking gray hair and a walking cane and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We didn't, I don't know. We didn't look at a motherfucker like 35, 40, 45, 50 as, oh, that's an old motherfucker.
No, I didn't think about it like that. That's what I'm saying. This generation right now.
That was my mama. I didn't look at my mama. Because my mama was still going to hang out and go kick it with the homegirls. And they was old people to me was a motherfucker. You got to help across the street. And
yeah, them was my grandparents. I looked at my grandparents as old.
Yeah,
it's like now.
Yeah,
but
it's
today,
like now.
Today, you are an OG. Oh, you definitely an OG. Nigga, you over 30. You definitely OG. And not to that's just the youngsters. Instead of going, that's when they try to pay you a little respect. You hear me? Because they'll just call you an old ass nigga. You feel me? But they give you that, OG, hey, OG. You know, that's what the youngsters do today. That's their generation thing.
And part of that too, because they growing up faster than we did. You know what I mean?
That
so
may
they
be
looking at a nigga like 30 as like an OG now. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
You got 5 and 6 year olds cell phones and shit. You get me? Back in our days, if that type of shit was available, You think your mama would have been buying you a cell phone at 5 or 6 years old, or letting you with
Hell
her?
no.
It never happened. You get
Real
me?
talk.
But this generation is you damn right. They growed up fast.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up faster. And one thing I will give this generation props on, this is the generation to where entrepreneurship and just owning your own business and doing your own thing. Shout outs to all them young brothers out there that's getting to that money, man. It's some young cats out here making serious money in the rap game now. On the tech game and the podcast game and the streaming game, they get into it because their thing is like this. I'm not going to go work at no job that I don't want to do. I think our generation, we would go do what we had to do. Our parents did what they had to do. This generation, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm doing, and I'm starting
We
a
didn't have
clothing
all those
brand.
options. We didn't have near those options.
Well, you know what? This computer, this shit we talking on right now made it real gravy for the little homies. So shout out to them. You know, Lynch, I want to get into this new album because we done been on here for a while now, right?
Mm.
You said you was battling alcoholism, man. You was battling quitting. You put the bottle down, man, to go into this. You had to learn how to rap all over again. How long did it take you to record this album?
Oh, shit, like 9 months.
Mm.
I started July 4th of 2023, had it done by the end of November.
And who handled the production? Because you produce a lot of your own stuff too, right?
I produced the whole thing because one of my boys told me, he said, man, you should just produce the whole thing like you did the first one. Because I couldn't find producers that was giving me a lot of producers was giving me some stuff with samples of my old album, and I wasn't trying to, do all that type of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Remaking beats from the old album. I'm like, bruh, I want to be modern with this.
Yeah, do your own shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so they coming to you with low to the brain part 2.
Well, a lot of shit didn't happen. A lot of my homies that was on the original one gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know
because you started off, because I remember the crew, Baby Riggs,
he gone.
Baby Riggs, Mr. Doctor.
He gone.
And we not gonna mention the other cat, but he got his situation, man. And that's that's a lot right there. That's trauma. Your crew that you started off rapping with ain't even here no more, literally. When you revisit the album.
Locked up, hiding. One's hiding, a couple of them locked up. One of them was my baby's mom on that. I'm still in touch with her. The Zag bitch on the Low to the Brain song was my baby mama.
Oh, Zag was okay, so she was, because I heard rumors of that, people saying that's his woman, because she was busting.
Yeah, she learned how to rap by just rapping my raps. Just started writing her own shit after a while. So she finally got good enough for me to get on a song. That was actually her first song she got on.
Yeah, that's a big record for her. I bet her head got big than a motherfucker, didn't it?
Oh, she's still living off those dreams with her crazy head.
That's crazy, man. So you produced this whole thing. I'm gonna tell you, man, first of all, I'm not gonna lie, Lynch. I am such a fan of the original Season of the Sickness that I came into this really looking like with my spectacles on. I said, okay, now let me hear this, because the way I listen to music, because I'm kind of like y'all, I don't listen to a lot of music, but that's kind of like my job kind of now, to be up on what's going on. So it's some dudes that I listen to, but I listen to it like this. I listen to usually 30 seconds of a song, then on to the next one, verse to the hook. That's all I care about, right? This one, by the time I got to I've Changed, I was listening to it all the way through, because you got so much deep shit you saying in there. I've Changed is a real personal record, man. You address a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
You address a situation, and I like the way you do it, because you do it to where you not like telling, but you telling a story. You talked about a studio getting broken too, and you let somebody breathe.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And you let somebody breathe, then you address, like, you dealt with the death of your sister, man, and you handle your grief in a really unique way, man. It's almost like it's as scary as your music sound, it's almost comedic in the same tone, because you got a lot of satire in your stuff.
Yeah, I try to keep it cool, but that second verse was kind of hard to write because like that happened a while ago. You know what I mean? And for me to bring that back, I had to get in this certain headspace for a second and that I didn't really want to get in. But yeah, that was a hard time, bro. I was on tour, and she asked if her boyfriend could stay at the house. She was living in my house, and I told her, yeah. Went on tour. He killed her in my house, so I sold that house. You know,
Wow.
so and
I'm
and
sorry to hear that.
and you know, bro, that was a whole song at first. I
Mhm.
went back and I rewrote the first verse to change it up because that was a full song at first, and I decided I didn't want to go to it deep about it because I want to be able to listen to my album sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Mhm.
You don't
so
want to
I
have to
didn't want to put that on there.
keep being reminded of the tragedy and shit. You know, who
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
have to keep reminding themselves of tragedy? So definitely.
Because
Yeah,
that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is definitely the soundtrack to our experiences.
definitely. As far as
Oh, yeah, you
my
know,
thoughts and my albums, yeah,
we want to let people in a little bit to our lives and to show people that we real motherfuckers and that everything is just not imaginary shit that's just thought up about, like you done seen on TV or some make-believe shit. So we give you bits
yeah.
and pieces and shit, and we even gonna tell you the struggle shit sometime. And it's how we deal with, not having to get out here and resort to the street shit like we used to, or had the
Sorry.
first motherfucking mind to do. You get me? Because the first mind, your mind state is first to result into doing some shit that you have been taught is by the code, so to speak. You get me? And when you
Yeah,
consider yourself a real nigga, you always, feel that you got to deal with shit according to the code. So
sir.
you can't give them a little bit. We try to let them in and let them experience some of the shit that we got to walk through, because people be
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah, for
oh
real.
no, niggas
Real talk.
invincible, or it don't happen to celebrities, and not that you even want to consider, because I hate even that word. I hate considering that shit, because I'm like a regular nigga, I'm just able to talk to you on the record. You feel me? And
I'm
tell
sorry to
you,
me, nigga. I'm sorry to me, you a celebrity.
yeah, yeah. But that's what you got to walk with that. So they tell us, you can't let everybody know everything, especially when you in our positions and shit, because there's some
Yeah,
crazy motherfuckers out there and they'll twist up shit and they'll try to take advantage of your heartache. You feel me? Or your tragedy. So you
that's
just
real
give
talk.
niggas a little. You give niggas just a little bit. You feel me?
That's real talk.
Because you
And
never know, it'll be a motherfucker 2 years from now, call themselves wanting to diss you, and then they taking your pain and your tragedy and trying to use it against you in a diss record and shit like that. So you
oh
can't
yeah,
let
for real.
you can't let that
I tell
motherfucker
you,
do everything. You get
yeah,
they be
I
trying to
tell you,
diss you
Lynch,
with your whole heartache, man.
Real talk.
you did the viral record. That's a crazy ass that record right there was crazy too. I just trip on how you handled the production, road, because you ain't falling. If anything, I dare to say that you were a better rapper than you were back then. And you was
You
dope. You
know
was
what?
phenomenal to me back then.
It's funny. It's funny you say that too, because like part of the decision to even do a part two, because everybody, even part twos of movies, oh, it probably ain't gonna be as good. You know what I mean? You saying that was part of the reason why I chose to like do the part two is because I listened to the lyrics on part one and I was like, come on now, I could rap better than that right now. You know what I mean? So that was bruh, it's a crazy you say that, man. That was like 50% of the reason why I decided to do a part two.
Yeah,
Mm.
you was on there busting, man. And I think it's at the point now, it's a good time for the OGs. Killer Mike won the Grammy. He a brother that's, approaching his 50s. If he ain't in his 50s yet, he won a Grammy on this stuff, man. And there's a lot of older brothers out there doing their thing because you got audience that's for it now. You got cats and 50 years of hip hop. You got cats and they 50, 55 riding around in their cars and they Teslas, bumping music, bumping MC Eiht and Brotha Lynch on their way to the office. You feel what I'm saying? So
Shit, bro,
it's a time, man.
Bro,
We
I'm
got to keep
56.
providing music for them.
I'm 56.
Man, you don't sound like no 50. If you'd have told me back in the day that we was gonna have dudes 52 and 53 and 56 rapping and they was gonna be tight, I'd have been like, hell no. But brothers out here, you getting to it on there, man.
This is
What's
what
next?
I look
I
like
don't
it.
like
I
that,
look at it
though.
like this, bro. Music is music. Music ain't got no age to me.
Hell no.
But it's
No.
only our shit, though. It's only our shit, though. Why is that? Why is rap or hip hop giving us an age limit of you can do it or not? But it's only certain niggas, right? And that's the crazy shit, because they don't say that about every hip hop artist. You right? They only say that about a few. They don't say it about everybody. They say it about a few. So I just don't understand that, because when it comes to rock and roll, when it comes to R&B, when it comes to pop, when it comes to jazz, it don't matter. You could be 50, you could be 8 to 80, and you could put out a record. But as far as hip hop is concerned, like once you get over 35, you shouldn't rap anymore. It's like our shit is like the NFL or the NBA. It's an age limit. Once you get 40, you can't play basketball anymore. Once you get 40, you can't play football anymore.
See, that's a real thing though. But as far as with rap, it shouldn't be like that.
But that's how they consider it. Not that it's not real with us. And of course, I don't want to make the comparisons of the physicality of the NBA or NFL, but it's like we already setting up your retirement plan at once you turn 35, you might as well start getting ready to retire, because you're looked at as like, damn, nigga, you 50 and you still rapping? Like, okay, what? That don't determine my finances or my situation. Like, niggas feel like if you still rapping at 50, you broken, you ain't made no money.
No, I just think it's like you said, rapping is not a physical thing. It's a mental exertion. It's not a physical exertion. You don't have to, you don't have to go in the gym and get in shape to go record an album. Now, you may have to start riding your bike to go on tour and go on the road, but you don't necessarily have to be in the best physical shape in the world, right? I think that through your life experiences, you naturally are going to become a more proficient rapper. Your vocabulary is broader. You have a different train of thought on things you're not thinking, because I know when I was 23 years old, I'm a way different man. Night and day, I'm not even close to the man I was when I was 23. I was a little boy.
Yeah, and our like you said, the train of thought is way different from being 25 to being 50. You get me? Like, and that's
what this sounds like. It sounds like a more evolved. It sounds like a more evolved album. It's not as banged out. It's really not banged out at all. It's a lot of real clever. I know you probably ain't sat and listened to the whole thing yet, Eiht, but this motherfucker's jamming. It's slapping.
Oh, definitely.
It's a little different. What I tried to do, because since I don't own the Loaded album no more, I tried to mix in style-wise a little bit of Loaded, so I could bring that back from my people who did, because a lot of people picked up on Loaded. Loaded was a weed album. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking of keeping the Season of the Sickness theme going like a story. So the next album after Season of the Sickness was Loaded. It's a weed album. But Black Market Records own that, and I wanted to kind of get a little bit of that back, because that was a phase of fans that, like, I still kind of got. So I kind of mixed that in with this album, so.
Yeah, Loaded was your big return album. I remember, like I said, I had a record store, and that's what we was talking about in retail. Lynch coming with an album. That was supposed to be your big return. That was your big return.
Yeah, people thought it was going to be like a Season of the Sickness Part 2, and then end up being a Smoking album. And at first, they didn't really take to it. Then later on, they was like, "Oh man, that's a classic album." They seemed to be mad at first, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was one of them dudes that was mad at first, because it was cool, and at that time, Eiht, I didn't smoke weed, right? I was like, what the fuck is this shit right here, man? Like, I want to hear some more of that. Him talking about the babies and taking people's heads off and all that shit. You know what I mean? I wanted to hear some
Yeah,
of
you
that
wasn't
shit.
the only one. You wasn't the only one, bro. Everybody expected that again.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know whether to call it a mistake or not. It's just I'm the type of artist, bro. Like I said, rap ain't got no age. Soon as I feel like making another album, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what age I am. That's what kind of rapper I am. So
people will be out there to support it, and people will be out there to support it and buy it, man. Lynch, you know what, man? We could talk to you all night, brother.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
What's next? What's next on the agenda, bro?
Right now, I'm working on a little project to follow up this season of the sickness. Whole 20. You know, my hood's 24. That's why I dropped this album this year, 2024. So I'm gonna give them a little something else before this year's out, and then I'm gonna move on to next year and start the new album.
Yeah,
This
man,
time,
because
it's been 11 years, so I ain't gonna let another 11 years go by.
Because
That's
you
right.
definitely got a lot of fans that want to hear you, and I know we got a lot of stuff in the works as far as for Eiht, man. And I would love to be able to, if it with Eight's blessing, I would love to be able to pull you in on some of them sessions because we got, you know, we talking about doing an album with Eiht and Hit Boy, and it's not talking about it. We in the scheduling and putting it together phase right now because I know how Eiht works and I know how Hit Boy works.
Eiht, I hope Eiht know he got anything he needs from me.
Oh yeah, you already know we official.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Lynch, man, shoot, man, I don't know how active you are on your social media, bro. Because like I said, when Soren hit me up, he said, man, do y'all want to interview Lynch? I said, bro, I said, are flies attracted to shit? I said, man, I've been trying to get in touch with that dude for 5 years, man. I said, hell yeah.
Good looking, brother. Real talk.
Man, so I appreciate you, man. You definitely, man, one of the dopest artists, not just of our generation, but now, 20 years from now, whatever, man, you are one-on-one, man, and I salute you, brother.
I salute y'all, man. Thank you guys for having me, man.
All right,
For
Lynch.
sure,
Yes,
man.
indeed. We're going to
And
connect.
that's it, man. You know, that's it. We go close out, man, another episode, another volume of the Gangster Chronicles podcast, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a rating, a comment, and all that, man, for my Apple Podcast users, man. Go on and leave us a like on this episode, man, and drop a comment. We out of here.
Yeah.